I've tried to do a few of these, but YouTube keeps blocking them because they can't stand the truth, since YouTube is ran by Satanists. So there's been eons of subjects that have came up that I wanted to say stuff about and tried to, but you know, there again, that's what the deal is. So here we try again. I'll try again. This time it's on the alt-right thing, because just too many people are too stupid in this country. They fall for every little thing that the DEMONCRAPS come up with. You know, racism is their biggest thing. They got everyone to vote for Obama by screaming racism, racism, racism. And then they made a black guy their nominee, and of course told everyone, well, if you don't vote for him, you're racist. First time around, I could see, because Bush was just a retard. You know, didn't really care about the country. And McCain was just a Bush clone. You know, in fact, McCain didn't even know what he was doing. I don't even know how he got to be the nominee. You know, Giuliani should have been the nominee that time. And next time after that should have been Michelle Bachmann. She was the only one that was 100% on it. But this country's stupid. You know, they picked McCain because he did some time in a camp way back, even though there's mass proof that McCain sung his way through the thing. And that's why he fought to leave veterans over in Vietnam once they got back. They tried having hearings. The families did everything they could to have hearings. He blocked them all. He didn't want no one coming back and telling the truth of what he did and what really happened over there. And Romney, they picked Romney the next time because he was the cutest. You know, it's whatever. I'm just a mushroom cloud over this because, I mean, in one sense, thank God Trump won, because we would be done now if Trump didn't win. If Hillary won that election, we would be in full-on civil war and revolution right now, and she would be dead. That's just bottom line. But Trump won, but these Satanists that are just pushing Satan's agenda is what they're doing. They never tell you what they're really doing. The Democrats, DEMONCRAPS I call them, they'll do everything they can to pass every bill they can and name it the best thing in the whole universe, and it'll make your life perfect, blah, blah, blah. And then you read the bill, and it's, we get to kick in your front door, club you in the head, and rape your wife and kids whenever we feel like it. You know, the name of the thing and what they do is always totally different. So, just like racism, you know, which they guaranteed spend who knows how much money on psychology to learn how the human brain works. Like, I don't know, I think it was the 50s or something like that. They did a study where they had people push a button and it shocked somebody in the next room. And as long as someone else was going to get the blame or was responsible, someone supposedly in charge, they'd shock him to death. Now, that was like the biggest eye-opener to the Democrats on the planet. Because they've been digging into psychology, how the human brain works, and you know, somewhere along the way they found the word racism works, and they've cashed in on that everywhere. Even though the revolution was fought forever ago, 1700 years ago, they just figure if they scream day and night racism, that everyone will kind of get this subconscious thing that, oh, white people still own slaves. You know, we still hate blacks. We just can't stand them just because they're black. And people that aren't racist at all of a sudden feel like they got to prove they're not racist. So anyways, Obama wins the second time, and he almost finishes this country off. If it wasn't for Christ, because, I mean, if you know Christ and you know God, then you know that's what saved us, because we are way off the cliff. With our deficit and everything else, we were actually already dead as a country. And the only reason Obama didn't call for martial law or something like that in an election, because there was enough of us that were still Christian that would have rose up, and he wouldn't have made it. He would have had to hurry up, fly out of the country and never come back. But he sure wanted. There's proof out there. Hannity's found it. A few other people, Dennis Michael Lynch, that there was a plan to cause some sort of tragic something. I don't even know what. You know, and to delay the elections. You know, if it wasn't going to look like Trump won. But they, you know, all their people told, at least these polls were right, that too many people, the American people, would rise up and we would have a civil war and probably guaranteed revolution if he tried to do it. So he didn't do it. Anyways, you know, I'm piling this together to back up this alt-right thing, because it's just another term that they come up with to try to get the American people to hang themselves, is what it is. Lucifer can't grab you by the hair and force you to do evil. Christ stops that. But he's allowed to influence us like he did with Eve. Where he just told Eve, hey, if you eat this apple, you'll be as smart as God. Well, her being stupid, she eats the apple. And of course later on Adam did too, but if you read the whole Bible, not just the one part where it says Adam ate it, because all the stories in the Bible are scattered. There's one piece here in it, then another book or so down the road there's another part of it. He was alone and, got sick of not having anybody, so he ate the apple, and got cast out with her, and then he found out how, whatever that was like, and didn't love it, but whatever. I guess it's all part of the plan. Anyways, but that's what Lucifer does, and his people do. They just say anything they can to get you to damn your soul into hell. And that's what this is with homophobe, white privilege, alt-right. These are all totally fake BS terms that the Democrats come up with. I don't know why I'm saying Democrats. I always call them DEMONCRAPS. But, and that's what this is. Homophobe. Who is the person that as soon as they hear the word homosexual, they take off running, screaming in terror, and hide themselves in a closet? There's no such thing. We're just disgusted with homosexuality. If you're a Christian and you know the Word of God and what's right and all that, just the thought of two guys having sex, it makes you sick. It's just mind blowing. It's like, you even ask little kids. Little kids don't, they play with dolls or whatever. Have little doll houses or trucks and cars. You bring up to them two men having sex, they're just like, what are you talking about? How is that even possible? Their brain is pure. They haven't been perverted or nothing yet. And that's on the internet too. There's recordings, but there again, the internet now is run pretty much by Satanists, so they're deleting all that stuff, trying to get anything out of there that proves that. So I don't know if you could find that anymore, because I remember seeing that on YouTube of, people asking little kids about, what they thought about man and a woman being together, and a woman and a woman and a man and a man. What really set them off was the man and man. They were like, two girls like each other? Really? Wow, why? What? But two guys, it was like, oh, hell no. That's what they were like. But alt-right, what they're doing with that is they're trying to make it sound like being right is evil. And once they connect that, or get that like set in society, the alt-right, oh, that's evil, that's bad, don't be alt-right. It's a fake term, but once they get that, then they're going to run around and call everybody who's Christian or is conservative alt-right. So now you're all of a sudden evil if you're right, because they'll just, you know what the Democrats do. They just, alt-right, you're alt-right, you're alt-right, you're alt-right. It's like how they're using racism now. Trump's racist, he's racist, racist this, racist that. Which kills me, because this guy, all we know is what the media is telling us. But if you know neo-Nazis or KKK people, you get your ass beat, and seriously beat, if you're in jail and you spill salt, because salt is white. Look into it. You come across a neo-Nazi and you accidentally knock a little salt shaker over, you're getting your ass kicked because they're white. Now this guy plowed into a crowd full of whites. So this whole racist thing, this neo-Nazi thing, no. To me, it's bullshit. They're just saying that he's racist and that he plowed into them because he's trying to kill a bunch of black people, which there was black people in the crowd. But to me, or not even to me, this is just what it is. It's the war of good and evil. There's these people that have chose Satan's ways, which are two-faced, hypocritical. It's just stuff that will bring this country down, that Obama was doing, that they were okay with and loved. And there's these other people saying, that's it. Enough is enough. We're taking our country back. And that's Trump's people, which are Christian. But of course, the DEMONCRAPS can't say that. They can't say, look, we're evil and we want things to be around evil and we want to run the country into the ground. No. Instead, they're going to try to make it look like, it's like what they did to Christ. They call him a false prophet and whatever else they could think of to get him murdered, because the Sanhedrin, which was basically a bunch of DEMONCRAPS, were worried about him being recognized as the Messiah, and then all of a sudden they were out of a job. They weren't anything anymore. At that time, there wasn't movie stars or rock stars. They were it. They were the big time famous people. So when Christ came around, they were even threatened by John the Baptist. They didn't have one complaint about him being beheaded because he was showing them up. He had prophecy power, which Christ said. He asked the Sanhedrin guys, so where do you think John the Baptist gets his power? Well, they didn't want to admit that he was a prophet and he got it from God, because then that would make them illegit and him more important than them. But they knew they couldn't say he got it from Lucifer, because the people knew he was a prophet and they would turn on him. If they said, we think he gets his power from Lucifer, the people would have took him all out. So they told Jesus, we don't know where he gets his power. But Christ said multiple times that he was the Messiah, and these are people who sell those souls to hell. There's people in the Republican Party that have sold their souls. We already know. Look at McCain and Lindsey Graham. They're fighting with everything they have to do Lucifer's work. And so there is this battle and a half going on before of good and evil. There are Satan's people in the Republican Party. Trump's talking about draining the swamp. He needs to drain that Republican Party first. Get all the two-faced lying hypocrites out of there that stand with the Democrats, especially on satanic crap. That's the ultimate. And I heard on the radio the other day, some guy said that McCain can't even go out in public down in Arizona. They're so pissed off he might get lynched. That it's the real deal. People are actually looking for him just because of what he's done. I don't know how many people, but guaranteed there's a serious number of people in Arizona that have lost their health care, that people have died because they couldn't get health care because the premiums were too high and the deductibles and all that. Whatever, my situation's different. But anyways, that's the ultimate deal here with this new term, this alt-right. It's just the Democrats trying to make it look like being right is wrong or evil. And once they get that solidified, they're going to pull like the racism thing with Obama, that, you have to vote for Obama, you're racist, you have to. And the American people being stupid fall for it. That's what they're trying to do here. Make it where if you stand with Trump, well, you're evil because you're alt-right, and alt-right is evil. And Trump, if you search the internet, there's a black lady who was homeless. He gave her a room to stay in, and she's been there for years at one of the Trump towers. She lives there free of charge. He has another girl that I don't know her name, her situation, but she was kind of down and out, and they came across her, and he said, look, I'll hire you, you got to work your butt off, but you'll make it. And she did. He's got, and they're calling him racist too, or neo-Nazi. This is what's really funny. His daughter marries a Jew. She gives birth to kids from this Jew guy, and they're raising their kids as Jew. Now, if he's neo-Nazi, how's that happening? But there again, they rely on American stupidity. You have to be stupid in order for the Democrats to freaking get anywhere or for it to work. But as we've seen, there's plenty. There's eons of them. I don't know, there's so many other facts that go with this. I'm not one of those people that, I guess I should do this. I should spend a day and write a whole list of all the details. But that's pretty much it. If you keep falling for their fake, made up phrases that they come up with, white privilege. Like, how many white people, as soon as they were born, bam, house, car, gorgeous wife, kids, just that's it, because you're white. Don't have to go to work, don't have to earn it, and actually everything you have just like fell out of the sky or just popped out of the ground. Where is that? It's the stupidest thing. It just blows me away that there's that many people, educated people that are educated believe in this stuff. I sat and watched, one video on YouTube of this one lady who's supposedly a professor screaming, white privilege, you and your white privilege. She's white herself. It's just unbelievable. But let me just say that here, picture this. Let's say Trump leaves office. He just quits. Just says, you know what, that's it, I'm out. Mike Pence leaves. And let's just go all the way with it. Let's say Hillary just walks in. She's like, oh, look, the people wanted me, I'm president. The conservatives are going to section off parts of this country. And they're going to and they're just going to, I don't know what you call it, wall it up. Where it's us, this is our world. Trump will be our president in those places. And you guys will be left with the illegals, with every country in the world stampeding into this country, because that's what you're fighting for. Because unless you allow that, you're a racist, right? And for the Muslims to take over, and now if you think you're going to, tell the Muslims, no, wait, don't take it, we're going to work with you. No, they'll slit your throat, and they'll feed you to a bunch of pigs, kidnap you, gang rape you, and we ain't going to stop them. I mean, are you completely effing retarded? You fight to get Trump out of office, you're on your own. Since you hate the military, because that's what makes this country strong, and you want the military done so we can bring this country down, so we can learn a lesson. No, you're going to belong to the UN. The UN's going to cut you all up and divide you into pieces and ship you off all over the world, so all the other countries can have what this country has, except for our parts, because we'll go to war. We'll kill them. So you're going to be left to live with what you've been screaming that you have to have, and we're going to sit back and watch. We ain't going to save you. We ain't going to rise up and do nothing for you. No. But once you're dead and you're in hell, because that's where we're going to go, it's just whatever, bottom line fact. And the Muslims take over, and the Mexicans, I don't know how they're going to mix that together, but whatever. The Mexican cartels and yada yada. If they try jacking with us, then we'll have a full-on war and we'll take all them out and, basically push all the Mexicans down past Panama. It'll be full-on. If they, once they take you all out and take over whatever part they're going to take over, it's just that's what's up. You have no common sense. You liberals are so freaking stupid. It's unbelievable. But there again, you're ruled by your emotions, no logic. You just don't have a functioning brain. You get your, I just want this and I just want that. Your feelings, all running. And, I just assume hand it to you. I just assume cut this country in half, put you all on one side, us on the other, and, we'll let all the illegals and everybody from every other country that wants to come over here and all the Muslims, and you can have at it. And we'll just tell them, hey, whatever you guys want to do, they live right there. Tell them where your house is, and and anything goes. Anyways, that's the bottom line. So this guy, this Smithville thing, I don't know. I'm just astounded with the stupidity. The guy's white. He plows into a crowd of white people, but he's a racist. But then again, it's like the Russian thing. There's no proof of nothing. But all they have to do is act all crazy like it's the truth. Like, he was channeling this guy. Trump was. And you know what? Trump got him to be the Nazi that he is. And he plowed in these people because he's a Nazi. While, what was it, a month or so ago? Some crazy Democrat tried killing a bunch of Republicans in a baseball field. No. That wasn't racist. No. Let's hurry up, sweep that under the rug. Let's hurry up and get that, erased. Or let's say the blacks that were killing the cops. How many cops have been murdered by them? Now, is that racist? Or what do you call that? You call that okay? See, that's what I mean about Satanism. Look at what these people are trying to cover up and hide. When their people murder people, because pretty much every serial killer is a Democrat. You look them up. Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, Richard Ramirez. They all, if they ever voted, they voted Democrat. And then like the couple things I just mentioned, besides the fact of, and I got to mention this because of what happened, Channing Christian and Christopher Newsom. They got 5 people charged with the kidnapping, raping, torturing, and murdering of these two, Channing Christian and Christopher Newsom. But there was more people in on it because they had these two kidnapped for a while. It's hard to get, what the actual date was, if it was just a few days, or if it was 2 weeks. But the whole time they had them, they were getting raped and tortured. Now, the black community ain't got no problem with that, And Shannon and Christopher were white. So you want to talk racism. Let's look at the real numbers. How many blacks kill whites? How many whites kill blacks? How many whites kill whites? How many blacks kill blacks? And let's look at the real numbers. You know, these people, like I said, they're Satanists. Well, this is how Lucifer lives, how he gets it. He'll only tell the truths he has to tell to get you to believe one lie. If he could tell the craziest lie there is in the universe, like Hitler, and you believe it, well, that's a double. That's a double win for him. But if he has to tell you 1,000 truths to get you to believe one lie, that's what he's going to do. Because he knows once he gets you to believe one lie, he's going to do whatever he can to get you to believe 2, then 3. And now this country is so bad, so far into the having its head up Lucifer's ass, just so many people, that he doesn't even have to tell them the truth no more. He just comes up with the craziest freaking lie there is, and they go with it. You know, that, oh, Russia, you know, made everybody vote for Trump, and they changed all the votes, they snuck into all the booths, and Trump colluded. Trump told them how to sneak in there and do it. I mean, it's so freaking stupid. You know, they say, well, you know, Russia hacked our service. Well, how come you don't let the FBI and the CIA or the DHS see that? The Democrats have not let the FBI or DHS even look at those servers to find out what happened. Want to know why? Because there's hella corrupt crap on there going on from Hillary's campaign, probably running money through her charity, you know, to people paying them off for this illegal thing, that illegal thing. And also they'll find that it was the Democrats that were trying to get the Russians to rig the election for them, you know, to come out with a bunch of crap on Trump. But instead the Russians told the truth and said, hey, you know, Hillary basically left all the top secret information she could laying out, like on our doorstep. All we had to do was open the door, bend over, pick it up. That's how much she leaked out all the top secret information. And I know you all have heard this, all of you have heard this, that there are people in prison now for mishandling information. Nowhere near on the scale of Hillary. Besides the fact of her, you know, destroying evidence, you know, bleaching things. She should be in prison right now already. They got that proof. They got that proof. They could charge her this very second for destroying, you know, evidence. But here, the Democrats know that. And they're fighting to bury that with anything they have, cover it up, because to them the most important thing is Satan's crap. Is having this country go back to Satan's ways and being ran like how Satan wants, which means this country hits the dirt, it becomes property of the UN. I mean, this won't be America no more. It will be actually property owned and controlled by the UN for them to do whatever they want with. And they already have laws passed that at the UN that no American is allowed to have guns. Now these, there again, that's another subject I got to cover real quick. Australia got rid of their guns a few years ago. Now of course, gun violence has gone way down, which is what the Satanists keep saying. Oh, look, it worked. You know, there's no more gun violence. Yeah, okay, there's no more mass shootings or whatever like that with guns. But murders, rapes, robberies, kidnappings have gone through the roof because they know nobody can protect themselves. I mean, some gangsters, you know, you get 3 or 4 guys together, they can kick in any door and do anything they want to anybody because they know nobody has a gun. No one has any way to protect themselves. So, you know, if you like rape, robbery, and murder, then yeah, get rid of guns. Because that's how you make sure it goes through the roof. Same thing happened in England. I mean, they still got a real high, you know, murder rate, rape, kidnapping rate, because nobody has no way to protect themselves. But they got the people brainwashed over there. And that's what the government here, the DEMONCRAPS, are trying to do here, to get you to slit your own throat, like Lucifer does. He can't force you into hell, but if there's any way he can get you to damn your soul yourself, with any lie he tells you, and if you give in and say, okay, cool, I'll go with that, don't complain when you do end up in hell. You know, and there's one last point I got to make here, just because the facts are the facts, the truth is the truth. This girl that died in Charlottesville, she was a Satanist. She stood against everything Trump stands for, which Trump isn't doing anything but cleaning this country up, fixing it, getting it solid like it was in Reagan's time, and like how the founding fathers set this country up to be. She was one of those that went with every lie she got told because that was funner or more exciting or whatever it was. And now she's in hell. Bottom line fact. And there's actually a video on YouTube. I think it's called 7 Minutes in Hell. And it is a movie clip, you know, made of what hell is like. But if you read the Bible, you'll see that pretty much what's in that, without smelling it like, you know, the Bible says what it smells like and stuff, that's what it's like. That you're going for eternal torment. There's other videos. In fact, y'all need to do this. Type in people that have died and gone to heaven or seen hell and have come back. And they're telling people, hey, this is real. You need to do everything you can to get your act straight because the torments of hell are so insanely massive. You know, the torture is so great that you will be willing to do anything to get out of there. And if you wait till it's too late, that's it. You're screwed. You can't get out. I mean, it's no joke. There's people that, whatever, they think it's funny to deny it, to talk crap about it, whatever. Well, if this girl could come back and tell everybody now what's up, believe me, she would be saying what I'm saying right now. I mean, it's sad, but what can you do? Some people, they just won't pull their head out, no matter what you say or what you try to show them. Just that's how they're going to stay until it's too late. And it's ultimate sad that for her, it's totally too late. So that's about it. For all those that, you know, are against Trump, I say read the Bible, find out what's really right and wrong. Because if you read it and you start getting what's up with God, you know, what he's about in his ways, you'll see that that's what Trump is doing. Trump ain't going after people because they're this skin color or that skin color. He's going after them because they are evil. And that's the bottom line. You know, if somebody thinks that their race of people should be able to come into this country and rape, steal, and kill, well, they're evil. And they got to go. You know, as far as I'm concerned, anybody who came into this country and is legal now, and they took an oath, and, God, there's like something on this thing that I'm tripping about. Oh, it's the sound volume. They took an oath to this country, and they've broken those vows, they got to go. You know, I see these protests, especially in California, where they get these like eons of Mexicans basically saying, screw you, America, we're going to take over. You know, we're taking over your country, and we're going to do this to it, we're going to do that to it. Right now, they're trying to break California off away from the rest of the country, something that they vowed they wouldn't do when they took their oath. I'd send the military and clean them out. I'd send up video cameras everywhere, get every one of them on film, and then I would send the military, go house to house, and every one of them that are against this country now, what our founding fathers, you know, created this country to be, and what we built this country up to be, that's it. You're gone. You had your chance. Forget it. Besides the fact, California, if it was its own country, it would have the 9th strongest economy in the world, but it's bankrupt. And the rest of the country is having to pay for California to keep it from going under. And because of all the liberal crap, all the liberal rules there that do nothing but suck it dry and have already, you know, put it under. But anyways, you get the picture. If you look at California's debt clock, you know, just that's what it is. It's bankrupt, and every year they got to file all the paperwork. Last I heard, every major city, San Diego, LA, and San Fran, had to file a bailout of $3 billion every year to get bailed out because of all the crime, rapes, robberies, kidnappings, murders, identity theft schemes, scams, whatever, people living off the system. I remember when Gray Davis had Proposition 138, you know, had an election or whatever, had everybody vote because the illegals were bankrupting the hospitals. At that time, like 11 hospitals were bankrupt because they just show up every day, all day, give me this, give me that, you have to give me. They antagonize and threaten and terrorize the doctors and nurses till they get whatever pills or whatever this or whatever that so they can sell it on the street. And they bankrupt, and also too they come in for any care that they want, and of course they don't pay. So they bankrupt 11 hospitals. They went under, gone. And Gray Davis put out, and this is a Democrat. You know, Gray Davis put out this vote it passed unanimously to stop giving health care to illegals. Well, the illegals pulled all their kids out of school and stood on all the major streets and on the freeways and everything and blocked traffic everywhere and basically told Gray Davis, unless you give us free health care, we're going to trash your city. And Gray Davis, not having any freaking balls at all, he backed down and said, okay, even though it's law and it passed, we'll just act like it's not there. He should have called out the National Guard and said, oh yeah, you think you're going to tear apart my state? Well, how about we pack you all up and send you back? And anyways, that's just beginning of a whole nother subject. So this whole demon crap thing of trying to get Lucifer to own this country, all I'm telling y'all is if you demon craps get what you want, it's going to be your ass instantly, because all those that you supposedly are fighting for, all the people from other countries to stampede in here and get everything for free, and the Muslims to come in and take over and yada yada yada, do whatever they want, and it's okay because it's their religion. As long as it's a religion, it's okay. They will walk over you like a stampede of buffalo over an anthill, and you'll just be gone instantly. If you have no common sense, you have no common sense. But we're not going to save you. We're going to find our own place in this country, seal ourselves off, and whatever happens to you happens. And that's just how it is. All right. See if I can upload this on YouTube now, or if they block it like they always do.